students, welcome to lecture number 23 where we will be continuing with module number 3 under subject financial management. So under this particular module, as we know that we have seen the different sources of financing and cost of capital. Now we were yesterday in our lecture number 22, we were seeing the theory part on how to determine the weighted average cost of capital and how to determine the marginal cost of capital. So we are just remaining with solving or knowing how to solve the problems on the determination of weighted average cost of capital and problems on marginal cost of capital. So today we will be covering the problems. So before we move ahead to the problems, can anyone just tell me how do we calculate weighted average cost of capital? Weighted average cost of capital is the total cost of capital. So first we find out the cost of capital for each individual source of capital, and then we assign weights to each individual source of capital based on the share that they have in the total capital. We multiply the weights with the cost and we add up the weights and the cost for each source of capital. Then we get the weighted average cost of capital. And weighted marginal cost of capital, in this we have seen that the additional, the incremental capital that is being raised, okay, we assign weights to that and then we calculate the weighted marginal cost of capital. So in marginal cost of capital, only the additional capital that is raised, on that we are going to calculate the cost. So now let us understand some sums on weighted average cost of capital and marginal cost of capital. Is this particular screen clear to everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us see problem number 1. The capital structure of the company is as below. Now, here they have given the different sources through which the company has raised its capital. That is through equity shares, which has 10% expected dividend, retained earnings, 10% preference shares, and debentures. The book values are given for each of the source of capital. The market value is given for each of the source of the capital, and the total capital that is raised by the company in figures is given. Now, the next part of the question is telling that the after tax cost of retained earnings is 10% and debentures is 8%. So they're telling you to calculate WACC using book value weights and WACC using market value weights. Now students, we know in order to calculate WACC, we require to assign the weights, number 1. Number 2, we want the after tax cost. Now, for retained earnings, the after tax cost is given 10%. For debentures, it is given 8%. Now, can anyone tell me what is the cost of equity share in this particular problem? What will be the cost of equity? What will be KE in this particular problem? Yes, students? Cost of equity is nothing but the expected dividend, right? Dividend to the shareholders is nothing but the cost of equity. So here the KE will be 10%. Can anyone tell me what is the cost of preference shares? What is KP? Yes, students?
10%.
10%. Very good. So we know that we will solve it in a tabular form because it is very good for presentation as well as easy to calculate. So first they're asking using book value weights. So computation of KO. KO is overall cost of capital using the book value weights. So we know that we have 5 columns. Column number 1, you got to write the sources. So what are the different sources as it is given in the problem? The same we will write it here in the solution. So equity, retained earnings, preference, debentures. Same we have written here, equity, retained earnings, preference, debentures. Now first we are going to calculate using book value weights. So can anyone tell me in column number 2 which values will I write? When I have to calculate WACC using the book value weights, In column number 2, what is the value that I'm going to write? This value, market value, or the book value? Yes, students?
Book value. Book
Very good.
value.
Book value, ma'am.
So as it is given in the question, we will just copy paste it here in the solution. So 40,000, 10,000, 20 and 30. As it is, we have written. And we have written the total as well. So our third column will be of weights. Okay. Now can anyone tell me how did I calculate these weights here? Third column is to have to assign weights to each of the source of capital. Now how did I assign weight here, students? Yes. Yes,
Individual
students.
amount divided by total amount.
So can you tell me in figures how did I derive? Yes,
40,000
your
divided
answer
by
is
1
correct.
lakh.
Very good. And then for retained earnings, it is 10,000 divided by 1 lakh. Preference shares, it is 20,000 divided by 1 lakh. Debentures, it is 30,000 divided by 1 lakh. I got the weights. Now, after tax cost, I have to write in my fourth column. Now, for equity share, the after tax cost is 10% because the cost of capital to the company is the dividend or the minimum rate of return in case of equity. So it is 10%. Retained earnings is ready-madely given in the problem 10%. So we have written 10%. Preference shares is again the dividend payable to preference shareholders, which is 10% prefixed before the word preference shares. So 10%. And debentures is given as 8%. So we are writing here 8%. Now, the last column will be the weighted cost. Weighted cost means weight into cost. Will give you weighted cost. Weight into cost. So that is 3 into 4. So we are going to get the column number 5. So that is 0.4 into 10%. We got 4%. Likewise 0.1 into 10%. We got 1%. Similarly, 0.2 into 10%, we got 2%. 0.3 into 8%, we got 2.4%. Take the total of all the weighted cost, that is weight into cost of individual source. You take the total, add 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2.4. You will get 9.4 as the weighted average cost of capital. Now, is this clear? Is this A part clear, students? Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
students. Okay. Now,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
B part they are asking is calculate the weighted average cost of capital using market value weights. So here the only change in the solution is going to be is the values in the second column. You're going to take the market value instead of book value. So that is the only change you're going to do. Is there any other change you're going to do, students? Yesterday, I have told you in the class what is the other change you have to do. See, students, will retained earnings come in market value?
No, ma'am.
Exactly. So two changes what you need to do is do not consider retained earnings because in market value retained earnings will not come. If you can see here, there is no market value given to retained earnings. So do not consider that. Apart from that, in line you can consider equity shares, preference shares and debentures. Write the amounts, that is 70,000, 15,000, 35,000, which I have taken from the market value column. Okay, then after that what you need to do is you need to assign the weights. Okay, after assigning the weights you need to take the cost. Now cost will be same what was there in the book value weights, book value cost. Okay, these, it is not the book value, market value cost is different. Cost remains the same for both book value and market value. Only the weights will differ, number one. And number two, what after weights will differ and the amount will differ. Is this clear? Yes, students? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how did I calculate this weights? Can anyone tell me how is this weights calculated? Why I'm repeating this again and again? Because students usually make mistakes in calculating the weights, in assigning the weights. So can anyone tell me how did I derive at this weight? Quick student.
70,000 divided by 1,20,000, ma'am.
Very good. This is the way I have assigned the weights. So, and then what you have to do? The last column is weighted cost. So weight into cost will give you weighted cost. You take the total of that, you will get the weighted average cost of capital. Now, is problem number 1 clear to everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us move ahead to problem number 2.
Ma'am,
Yeah, dear. Tell me.
how did you get debentures? How did you get 8%?
Because here in the problem it is given that the after tax cost of retained earnings is 10% and debentures is 8%. Here.
Okay.
Is it
Okay, ma'am.
visible? It's clear, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next. The capital structure of the company is as below. You have debenture capital of 3 lakh, preference capital of 2 lakh rupees, equity capital of 5 lakh rupees, and the total comes up to 10 lakhs. So this is the sources through which the company has raised the finance. Next, the after tax cost of capital are as below. So the cost of equity is given after tax cost only we need to consider, students, and the cost of debentures is given as 8%, cost of equity is given as 17%, and cost of preference shares is given as 14%. Okay, next let us understand what they have asked in the problem. Firm wishes to raise 5,000 for expansion. So further company wants, it is wishing that further it wants 5 lakh rupees for expanding its business. It estimates 1 lakh from retained earnings. It is going to take 1 lakh from retained earnings and the balance as long-term debt from that is from debentures, long-term debt, that is rupees 30,000. That is rupees 3 lakh, and preference capital of rupees 1 lakh. So see students, further this is the original capital they have, and further ahead it wants to raise 5 lakh. And how it is planning to get this 5 lakh? 1 lakh from retained earnings, 3 lakh from debentures, and 1 lakh from preference capital. Now what are they asking in the what are they asking us to solve is determine the cost of capital, that is KO. KO means you have to understand that is the overall cost of capital they are asking us to solve by using the historical weights and by using the marginal weights. Now see students, under historical weights, I told you there are two methods. One is using book value weights and one is using market value weights. Now if nothing is mentioned, whatever values are mentioned in the problem, you have to take it that way. Now under marginal weights, I told you marginal weights, you're going to consider only those value which is additionally raised, not the original value. Those value which are additionally raised, incremental values. Okay, now let's first understand this solution number 1. And this is come from the question paper. This problem is from the question paper of July 2016. So now first let us solve this historical weights. So computation of WACC using historical weights. So your first step is, first column is to write these sources as it is given in the problem. Debenture, preference, equity. So as it is you have written here, debentures, preference, equity. Your second column is to write the amounts. Now here they have not specified book value weights or market value weights, but they have given you certain values directly. So consider those values, amounts as 3 lakh, 2 lakh and 5 lakh. Make one more row for the total. Now third column is always weights. How do you assign weights? As you all have clearly understood, weights are assigned by dividing the individual capital with the total capital. So 3 lakh divided by 10 lakh, you got 0.3. 2 lakh divided by 10 lakh, you got 0.2. 5 lakh divided by 10 lakh, you got 0.5. So total it is 1. Always your weight should come up to 1. Next, the fourth column is after tax cost you need to write. That is KD, KP and KE. So how much is KD? Can anyone tell how much is KD in the problem? Yes, students. In the problem, 8%. It is directly given, so we need not, find it out. So cost of KD is already given 8%, KE is already given 17%, and KP is already given 14%. So write it as it is 8%, 14%, and 17%. So your weighted cost will be nothing but weight into cost. So 0.3 into 8, 0.2 into 14, 0.5 into 17. You get 13.7%. And when you total all this individually, you get 13.7% as your weighted average cost of capital. Now, is problem number 2, sub question A, clear to everyone? Yes, students? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, moving ahead to solving problem number 2, sub question B. They are asking the firm raises to, now in marginal weights, always remember, don't take the original initial capital that has been raised. So further, that is, after the initial capital is raised, if further any capital is raised, you need to calculate the cost only for that additional capital uh, in case of marginal weights. So in case of additional capital, no, students, what is the additional capital to be raised in this particular problem? What is the total additional capital to be raised in the problem? Yes, students?
5 lakhs.
5 lakhs. Okay, how are they raising 5 lakhs? What will I write in the sources? I will write only those sources which are helping to raise this additional 5 lakhs. So what all is helping? That is debentures of 3 lakhs, preference capital of 1 lakh, and retained earnings of 1 lakh. So as it is, I will write here, students, in amount, that is debentures of 3 lakh, preference capital of 1 lakh, and retained earnings of 1 lakh. So here only additional calculation of cost of capital we are doing. That is why it is called as marginal weights. That is weighted marginal cost of capital. Now, how do we find out weights? It is again very simple. What you need to do is divide the individual amount with the total capital. So that is 3 lakh divided by 5 lakh, you got 0.6. 1 lakh divided by 5 lakh, that you got 0.2. Again, for retained earnings, 1 lakh divided by 5 lakh, you got 0.2. Now, what is after tax cost? So already the cost of debentures is given here for us. The cost of debentures is already given 8%. So we have written 8% as it is. The cost of preference shares is already given 14%. So we are writing this 14% as it is. Now retained earnings, the cost of retained earnings is not given here. So students, what should we consider the cost? Who is going to answer this particular question of mine? That how did I take 17% as cost of retained earnings? Can anyone tell me? Based on our previous lectures, explanation on previous lectures? Yes, students? How did I take the cost of retained earnings as 17%? Any student want to try? Yes?
Ma'am, it's given cost of equity, right?
You're not audible.
Ma'am, it's cost of equity, right?
Very good. Very good.
Same it is.
Very good. You are correct. Okay. Cost of retained earnings is equal, KR is equals to KE. Okay. Since long-term capital gain tax is not given, personal tax is not given, and already this is after tax. So when in KR formula is what? KR is equals to KE. That is why we have taken cost of equity as the cost of retained earnings, because the formula is that. So we have taken 17%. Now our next fifth column is nothing but weighted cost, which is nothing but weights into cost. So 0.6 into 8, 0.2 into 14, 0.2 into 17. You write it in this particular fifth column and just take the total of this. You will get 11% as the weighted marginal cost of capital under the marginal weights. Is problem number 2 sub question B clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Next, let us move ahead to problem number 3. The Sanika Limited has the following capital structure. Common shares, 20,000 shares of 40 lakhs. Students, common shares, as you know, is also called as equity shares. It is also called as ordinary shares. So equity shares, the nomenclature given to equity shares like this, different names you can call equity shares as. Ordinary shares also, if they're given in question, it means equity shares. If they're telling you common shares, that also means it is equity shares. Okay, it is only different name given but means the same. So common shares is nothing but equity shares is given as 40 lakhs, 10% preference shares is given as 10 lakhs, 14% debentures is given as 30 lakhs. So this is the capital that has been raised by these three sources, and the total is coming up to 80 lakhs. Now the shares of the shares of the company sells for rupees 20. So at rupees 20, the share of the company is sold. So 20 rupees is what, students? The market price of the shares. Okay. 20 rupees is market price of the shares, because obviously you're selling the company share sells the shares at rupees 20. So 20 becomes the market price. Next, it is expected that the company will pay next year a dividend of rupees 2 per share, which will grow at 7%. Now, students, what is happening here is next year, it is expected that the company will pay next year a dividend of rupees 2 per share. Okay, so this is nothing but dividend per share, and which will grow at 7%. So this is a growth rate of 7%. Okay, assume 50% is the tax rate. Now they're telling compute the weighted average cost of capital based on the existing capital structure. This particular question is from the taken from the question paper June-July 2018. Now, students, before I move ahead, what we have to do is we have to calculate WACC. And in the first column, we know we have to write the sources of capital. So quickly, anyone can tell what I have to specify in column number 1? What all I have to write in column number 1? Yes, students, quickly. What do I need to write in column number 1? I need to write the equity shares, 10% preference shares, and 14% debentures. In column number 2, I need to write the amounts. So amount I will write corresponding to that 40 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and 30 lakhs. Next is I need to assign weights. How will I assign weights? I take the total. Okay, I take the total. I take the individual amount divided with the total funds. So 40 lakh divided by 80 lakh, 10 lakh divided by 80 lakh, and 30 lakh divided by 80 lakhs. I get the weights. Now, can anyone tell me what is after tax cost? See, I have to take after tax cost. Now, can anyone tell me what is going to be the after tax cost for preference? First, I start with preference. What is going to be the after tax cost? What is going to be the KP for preference? 10%. So here I have written 10%. Next, for debentures, what is going to be the after tax cost? After tax cost for debentures, what is going to be? Yes?
We need to calculate.
Correct. Now see, students, if this information is given, assume tax is at 50%. Suppose if this information was not given, then we would take cost of debentures as 14%. Okay, but since they're telling tax rate is at 50%, so we have to find after tax cost for debentures. So let us see the working note. For KD, it is nothing but interest minus 1 into 1 minus T into 100. So the interest for debentures holders is 14%, which is already prefixed before the word of debentures. Here 14% debentures means interest to debentures holders will be 14%. Now to this we have to minus 1 minus the tax rate, that is 1 minus 0.50 into 100. Always why we multiply by 100? Because we are showing the cost in percentage. So when we solve this particular thing, we get KD as 7%. But suppose I'm repeating again, if this information about tax rate was not given, then your debentures, cost of debentures would be 14% only. So we have written the cost of debentures as 7% now. Next, can anyone tell me how do I calculate cost of equity shares? Based on whatever information you can see here, which method or which approach? Say for equity shares, calculating the cost of equity shares, we have seen 5 approaches, correct? Dividend yield.
Dividend yield plus growth.
Very good. Dividend yield plus growth. So let us see the working note because we have to solve it. So KE is nothing but D1 divided by MP plus G into 100. D1 is given here rupees 2 per share. So rupees 2 divided by MP is given here 20. So we have taken 20 plus growth rate is given 7%. So we've written 7 into 100. So when we solve this particular formula, we get KE as 17%. So we written KE as 17. Now the fourth column we have understood. Now the fifth column is nothing but weighted cost, where we have to multiply the weight with the cost. So 0.5 into 17, 0.125 into 10, 0.375 into 7. Next, you have to add this all the weighted cost. You will get the weighted average cost of capital to be 12.375%. Yes, students? Yes. And can anyone tell me why I've taken this rupees 2 as D1 and not D0? How did we know that this is D1? Can anyone tell me? Yes,
It's for next year, ma'am.
It is
correct.
paid when
Mention
If it was for
next
this year, it would be D0. Since it is next year, it is D1. Okay. Is this problem number 3 clear to everyone? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us move ahead to problem number 4. See, problem number 4 is little a bigger problem. I don't think we'll be able to complete the entire problem now. So do you want me to take it in this class or next class? Yes, students?
Next class, ma'am.
next class.
Yeah,
Next.
because what will happen, I'll tell you, students. We won't be able to complete since they have asked a lot of things here. Okay. And what will happen, we'll do it half now, and then from Monday you'll do not have classes, like, right? So then what will happen, then when we meet, then we have to finish the other part, so there will be a gap in the continuity. So we'll take up this problem in our next lecture when we do. So thank you so much, students. We are done for the session.